Some animals face hunger not for days, but for years. And yet, they survive quietly and powerfully. In the harshest places on Earth, survival isn't about strength. It's about patience and strange powers that seem almost unreal. From frozen frogs to the toughest tiny bear, these creatures rewrite the rules of life. Most animals can't live long without food or water. A few days, maybe a week. But some creatures have learned how to wait. They slow their heartbeat. They stop moving. They almost stop being alive. They do this to survive cold, heat, or hunger. Some live in frozen forests. Others hide deep in the sea. They don't fight. They don't run. They simply pause. And somehow, they make it through the impossible. In this video, we'll explore animals that can live without food for months or even years. How do they do it? And why would they need to? They're so small you need a microscope to see them. But tardigrades, also known as water bears, are some of the toughest life forms on Earth. They live in places most animals can't survive. Boiling volcanoes, freezing glaciers, even outer space. When life gets hard, no food, no water, too much heat or cold, they don't fight back. They shut down. They curl into a dry, tiny ball and wait. This state is called cryptobiosis. Inside it, they lose almost all their water. Their heart stops. Their body freezes in time. They don't breathe. They don't grow. They don't move. But they're not dead either. They're paused, like pressing stop on a living movie. Scientists once brought back a tardigrade that had been frozen for 30 years. It came back to life like nothing happened. Tardigrades have been blasted with radiation, dried out in deserts, and even sent into space. They always survive. And they do it all without fear. Just by waiting, by trusting their body to stop, and then start again. What else can this tiny creature survive that we can't even imagine? In the forests of Alaska and Canada, winter isn't just cold, it's deadly. But one little frog has learned how to survive the impossible. The wood frog doesn't flee from the snow. It faces it. When temperatures drop below freezing, the frog stops moving. It lets ice form inside its body. Its heart stops beating. Its lungs stop breathing. Its blood turns into thick, frozen syrup. Most animals would die, but not the wood frog. It has a secret. Before freezing, its body makes a special kind of sugar. This sugar flows through its blood, protecting its cells from damage. It's like having antifreeze in its veins. All winter long, the frog stays frozen. No food, no water, no life signs. Just stillness under the snow. Then spring arrives. The ice melts, and slowly, the frog comes back. Its heart starts again. It blinks. It moves. And then it hops away, like nothing happened. This isn't science fiction. It's nature. And it's real. How can a frog freeze to death and come back to life like it was just asleep? They've been alive for over 200 million years, since before the dinosaurs disappeared. And one reason crocodiles have lasted so long is simple. They know how to wait. These ancient reptiles are masters of stillness. When food is plenty, they eat. But when it's gone, they don't panic. They don't chase. They just stop. Crocodiles can survive for months without a single meal. In some cases, they've gone more than a year. How? Their bodies are cold-blooded. That means they don't waste energy on staying warm like mammals do. They don't need to eat often. And when food runs low, they slow down even more. They sink into rivers, lie on muddy banks. Sometimes they dig a hole and rest in the cool earth. Their heart rate drops. Their body temperature falls. They use almost no energy at all. They look lazy. But it's not laziness, it's survival. They don't burn out. They don't break down. They simply wait until the time is right. How do these ancient reptiles stay alive when the river runs dry and the world goes quiet? In deserts, jungles, and deep forests, snakes live quiet, hidden lives. But their real superpower? Survival without food for months, sometimes even years. Some pythons and boas can eat a single large meal and then not eat again for up to 2 years. It sounds impossible, but to snake, it's just normal. Snakes are cold-blooded, which means they don't need constant energy to stay warm, and they move very little. Most of the time, they stay still, curled up under rocks or leaves. When food is hard to find, snakes slow everything down. They reduce their heartbeat. They digest slowly, sometimes for weeks after a meal. Their whole body enters a state of low energy. In the wild, this is what keeps them alive. They don't hunt every day. They wait. They conserve. They use only what they need, and nothing more. Even their organs change. Scientists found that snakes can shrink and regrow parts of their digestive system depending on whether they've eaten. It's like their body knows how to switch on and off depending on the situation. They don't fear hunger. They've learned to live with it. What kind of life is that, eating once a year and still surviving just fine? Far beneath the ground, in the silent caves of Europe, lives a creature almost no one ever sees. It's called the olm, a pale, blind salamander that looks like it belongs in another world. The olm lives in total darkness. It has no eyes. Its skin is white, almost see-through, and it moves so slowly, it's almost like time forgot about it. But what makes the olm truly special is how little it needs to survive. It can live for up to 10 years without food. Yes, 10 years. In the caves where it lives, food is rare. No plants, no sunlight, only tiny insects or crustaceans that drift through underground streams. When food disappears, the olm doesn't die. It waits. Its body slows down to one of the lowest metabolic rates in the animal kingdom. It barely breathes. It barely moves. And it can go years without growing or changing at all. One olm was observed staying in the same exact spot for 7 years. Just resting. Just waiting. It lives over 100 years. And it never sees the light. How does a creature live in silence, darkness, and loneliness for a lifetime? In Antarctica, the cold isn't just a feeling, it's a test of life. Winds scream across the ice. Temperatures drop below 60 degrees Celsius. But even here, life finds a way. The emperor penguin is the largest of all penguins, and maybe the most devoted parent in the animal kingdom. When winter begins, the female lays one single egg. Then she heads to the sea to feed. She'll be gone for 2 whole months. The male is left behind. He balances the egg on his feet, covering it with a flap of warm skin. If the egg touches the ice, it dies in seconds. So he stands, still, in place, day and night. He doesn't eat during this time. For 2 months, he survives on the fat in his body. No food, no water, just cold wind and endless darkness. To stay warm, the fathers huddle together in giant circles. They take turns moving inward and outward, so no one freezes. It's a dance of survival, silent, patient, and full of love. By the time the female returns with food, the male has lost almost half his body weight. But the egg is safe, and a new life begins. Why would a father nearly starve to death just to keep one fragile egg alive? These animals don't survive by being fast or fierce. They survive by being still, by slowing down, by trusting time. They wait through hunger, through cold, through silence, and somehow they make it. Their lives remind us that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it rests. If these animals can survive the impossible, what quiet power might be sleeping inside you? If this story amazed you, give it a like, it helps a lot. Leave a comment and tell us which animals surprised you the most. And don't forget to subscribe to our for more wild, true stories from nature. Watch the next video, it might just change the way you see life.